champions, welcome to Tuesday. We're still going to be continuing making predictions. What is making predictions again? It's an educated guess. This is one of my favorite things to teach because there's really no right or wrong answer unless you don't have evidence to back up your prediction. So you got to use clues from the story. You can also use background knowledge. Let me write background knowledge a different way. Background knowledge is things that you know from your everyday life. So like yesterday, I talked about how I knew that milk needed to be cold. That helped me make a good prediction. Okay, so using things that we know that have happened in our life. And it's okay if we're right, and it's also okay if we're wrong. Now this week, we're not going to be figuring out if we're right or wrong. We're just going to practice making good predictions. All right, let's practice. Learning to Fly is the title, and it looks like it's a picture of a caterpillar. So remember, sometimes we can use the title and a picture to help us. So it looks like something about a butterfly. Katie was such a cute little caterpillar. She spent her days crawling along the bright green leaves in the garden, munching and crunching as she went. One day, Katie decided it was time for a change, so she wove a cocoon around herself, and she went to sleep. When she woke up, she had become a beautiful butterfly, but there was one big problem. Katie didn't know how to fly. She had never had wings before, and she didn't know how to use them, but she had to learn. So she took a step, and she started to flap her wings, and you know we see these ... dots. Whenever you see ... that means that it's going to be continued. So we need to continue. What do we think will happen? So what's happening here? So Katie has wings. I'm just going to write cannot fly. Well, what's going to happen? She took a step, she started to flap her wings. I think at first she might fall a little bit because I don't know if butterflies can fly immediately. They might struggle a little bit. So again, we're not going to figure out the outcome this week. I think Katie will struggle to fly because she doesn't know how at first. I should say at first. I think she'll eventually learn how to fly, but I think at first she's going to struggle. I'll put at first here. But I'm only making one prediction, so I think Katie will struggle to fly at first because she didn't know how. You might have a different prediction than me as long as it makes sense, as long as you're not telling me that the butterfly is going to turn into a human being. We're not doing science fiction here. Next one also has a title and some pictures. Don't pat the spider. Jimmy was a naughty little boy. He never listened to anyone. He didn't listen to his parents. He didn't listen to his teachers, and he certainly didn't listen to his friends. No one could tell Jimmy what to do. His parents told him, "Don't ride your bike without a helmet." So Jimmy went for a ride without his helmet. He fell off his bike and had a huge lump formed on his head. His teacher told him, "Don't run on the concrete," so Jimmy ran on the concrete. He fell over and scraped his hands and knees. His friends told him, "Don't pat the spider." So what's going to happen next? What do I know here? Well, they said it a lot. Jimmy does not listen. I really hope that Jimmy will learn his lesson. This is kind of like the boy who cried wolf. So maybe this time, I think Jimmy will finally learn his lesson. I'm going to put J for Jimmy. Will learn his lesson and listen to his friends. Because he hurt himself before. So I'm thinking positive. I think Jimmy will have learned his lesson because he didn't listen to his parents. He didn't listen to his teachers. Hopefully he'll listen to his friends. That is my prediction. Some of you may have a different prediction, and that's totally okay as long as you have clues to back it up. All right, last practice problem. Rex sat at the mouth of the alley and chewed the bone that he had found by the dumpster. It was a meaty bone, and that had belonged to a larger animal, perhaps a state fair prize-winning pig. Rex was attracted to the bone by the strong scent. Apparently, he was not the only one who could smell it. He heard the jangle of tags behind him and turned to see a larger dog. Rex released the bone and began to growl at the other dog. The other dog began growling at Rex. The two dogs inched towards one another, maintaining eye contact. Each began growling louder at the other approach within striking distance. Uh-oh. So, we won't know the outcome, but we can talk about it. So it seems like Rex is a dog. So, and he found a bone. So in this, what's happening is Rex and the other dog are growling over this bone. Well, I know because I have two dogs. If they begin growling and they're approaching each other within striking distance, I think they're going to have a fight. So I think the two dogs will fight over the bone. Because they are moving closer. If maybe you think that won't happen, that's totally fine. Just make sure you use some clues to back up your prediction. Remember, it's okay if it's right or wrong. We're not figuring that out this week. All right, your turn. You're going to have two different scenarios. You're going to read this one about John. Remember, you won't know the outcome, so you're just going to do a two-way chart, the event that's happening and what you think will happen. And here's part number 2. Number 2. So again, no outcome. We'll go over some of the predictions that you guys had tomorrow. Thanks, champions.